Yesterday, Donovan McNabb, or the day before, former Eagle Donovan McNabb. Right now, Philadelphia's playing really good football. But you can be fooled in this league. It happens all the time. You see it in college football where you play in a weaker conference, you have a weaker schedule. I've talked about this year with the Packers. They played the Bears. Tampa Bay was missing all their receivers. And last week, the Patriots were down to their third quarterback. Both Tampa and I believe New England beat Green Bay if they're healthy. They weren't, and those wins count. But Donovan McNabb says the Eagles may look like the best team in the league, but he didn't buy them as a Super Bowl team yet. If you're really brutally honest, every year in the big sports, there's really 4 teams that can win a championship. Like in baseball this year, there's really 4 teams that can win. Yankees, Dodgers, Astros, Braves. Mets don't have enough sticks. I thought early in the year it would happen. The Mets won 100 games, but even their own fans have issues. They don't have enough sticks to win. Let's go to the NBA. Warriors, Bucks, Celtics, Clippers. We don't trust the Sixers. James Harden postseason. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. Embiid's health late. Cross your fingers. They're not a championship team, but they can fool you like the Mets because they have their moments. They go on streaks, but they've got flaws. Same in college football. There's 4 teams that can win it. Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson. Michigan's too young at quarterback, and I don't think they have the personnel of those 4. In the NFL, if you're brutally honest, I think there's 4 teams that can win it. The Chiefs and the Bills are obvious. The NFC's weaker, so you have to count Brady, all those players in the Bucs. And the Niners are missing 5 high-end starters, and they're still physically pushing everybody in the league around. When the Niners get healthy, it's the best roster in the league. And Garoppolo already made 1 Super Bowl, and the NFC was much tougher the year he made it. It is wide open now. And then there's the Eagles. And I think the Eagles, like the Sixers and like the Mets, fool you. The Mets don't have the hitters. I don't trust the chemistry. Harden or Embiid's health for the Sixers. Let's be honest about Philadelphia. Buffalo's missing 5 to 6 starters. High-end starters, Pro Bowlers. San Francisco, similarly, missing their best safety, best corner, 2 defensive linemen, a Hall of Fame left tackle, a star running back. Philadelphia's healthy. They've gotten breaks with weather. It's a run team, and they've played in a couple of soggy games. Last year, they got into the playoffs, and they kind of fooled us, right? 9-8, got into the playoffs. What were they against playoff teams last year? Do you remember? 0-6. And at one point in that playoff game, trailed 31-0. You think that's a Super Bowl team? They're healthy. They've gotten a weather break. They've yet to play from behind in the second half of a football game. We know Buffalo can play from way behind. We saw it against Baltimore. We know Kansas City plays way behind. We know Brady plays way behind. We've seen Garoppolo at Lambeau outplay Aaron Rodgers as an underdog. Philadelphia is a great story. They've got great momentum and a great ascending young player at quarterback. But a Super Bowl team holding a trophy, there's usually 4. And there's always that one, the Sixers, the Mets, the Eagles. You kind of taught Michigan football. You kind of like watching them. They got something, but there's something there that deep down, if you're honest, you can't trust. This team got hammered in the playoffs last year. This team has not trailed in the second half. They've gotten weather breaks. They're way healthier than San Francisco, Buffalo, the Rams, Tampa. Not that they're fool's gold. They're going to win their division, and I think they'll win 12 or 13 games. It's a real team. Nick Sirianni. Never come close to winning a playoff game. We're going to put him in there with Brady and Aaron Rodgers, eventually Andy Reid and Josh Allen, and I just can't. Not yet. Donovan McNabb was right. So let's put up Garoppolo, Goff, and Tua's numbers. The quality of football quarterback play now, the very high end of it, is so substantial, is so gifted, is so great, that you have Niner fans ready to ship Garoppolo out of town. His career passer rating is 99. 2-to-1 touchdown ratio. He's completed 67.5% of his throws and has won over 2 times as many games as he's lost. Well, it must be Shanahan. Shanahan's won 30% of his games without him. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. His career passer rating is 92, over a 2-to-1 TD to interception ratio. His completion percentage is 64. And he's won far more games than he's lost, and that includes last year with the Lions. Tua, and I'm not a huge fan long term. Tua's completion percentage, by the way, his passer rating is number 1 in the league this year. He's won almost twice as many games as he's lost. His passer rating's in the low 90s, 2-to-1 TD to interception ratio. Garoppolo, Goff, and Tua. You have 2 Super Bowl appearances, playoff wins. Tua probably gets his first playoff win this year. And you want to move these guys out of town for a draft pick. That's what I said. The Niners roster is too good to give it to somebody like a Trey Lance right now that we don't know if he can play. You can't move Garoppolo for that. You can't move Tua and Goff for a draft pick. The NFL draft gives us one great quarterback a year, about 1.5 last 20 years. If you're going to move off Garoppolo or Tua, and I'm not a Tua fan, or a Goff, you got to give me something. You have to give me an answer, a solution. Like McVay. McVay said, I like Goff. I'm going to upgrade with somebody in the league. Stafford. Okay. If you want to move off Garoppolo for whoever you view that's better, like a Stafford was out there for, okay. If you want to move off Tua for somebody like a Derek Carr to me who's better, okay. But the quarterback play at the top now is so good that we find Garoppolo, Goff, and Tua as just go get a college guy. Go get an FCS guy that hasn't played much. Are you out of your mind? You know how good you have to be to put up Tua, Garoppolo, and Goff's numbers? 2 have been to Super Bowls. So the Rams did it right. They moved off Goff with a proven high-end commodity. But again, I'll say it. I'm a big Garoppolo fan. I will defend Detroit and Jared Goff. If you think Jared Goff's the problem with the Lions, you don't even know football. He is not the problem. I'm sticking with Goff until I can find somebody in the league that's proven that's better. Otherwise, I'd stay with him for 6 years. That's what Minnesota's doing. Minnesota, by the way, which splits with Aaron Rodgers since Kirk Cousins been there, they're like, all right, if we can get somebody better than Kirk Cousins, we're not going to draft somebody. We're not going to find Kirk Cousins. The chances are like 8% that you find. And Minnesota's too good to get a top 4 or 5 pick. So is San Francisco. So is Miami this year. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.